Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be another general bonus message, but before I jump into that, let me first mention that yesterday's winner is Nina B. So Nina, my dear, thank you for all your lovely messages. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. Please do reach out to me. Let me know where in the world you would like me to mail your prize to. You will find my email address is listed right there in the description box for you, okay? Just FYI, you guys, I'm doing a giveaway every single day, all the way through the end of this year. This is to thank my subscribers. So stick around to the end and I'll show you what the next item is that I'll be giving away. And if you would like to enter to win, you can feel free to do so. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for just choosing to be a part of my world. I really appreciate it. So this is the way I show my appreciation to you guys for supporting my channel the way you do. All right. This bonus general message, this one is starting out actually a little differently than usual. Nothing remarkable happened on my walk this morning. Instead, it was afterwards that I went to get my favorite coffee. I am very particular and I love coffee. And you know what? It was stale. Something that I have really enjoyed for a long time. I've grown beyond. So there was a stale flavor is what I'm going to say. I don't know if that means anything to anyone out there. Maybe something has grown stale. Maybe your thoughts regarding a situation or someone, maybe it's one of those things where you're like, you know what? I think I'm done with this. I think I've outgrown something. I only read this deck in the upright, by the way. And that's through a personal choice of my own because of all the imagery in this. So the King of Pentacles here is, if we start this storyline with something stale and then we immediately jump to this King of Pentacles, what might be kind of like, hey, I'm kind of done waiting around. I'm kind of done waiting for somebody who's always buried under, you know, other obligations, other work, other situations where they may not be able to ever free themselves up enough to go have fun. This could be you. Maybe it's like, hey, I'm feeling like my routine is stale. I'm feeling like I want to go out and do different things. I'm feeling like I want to change what I'm doing. There is this element here where with that King of Pentacles, this is somebody who is, I just feel like they have a lot on their shoulders. You notice how they're sitting underneath this house. They have all these obligations. Every day there's trials and tribulations. Every day there's drama and fires to put out and things to deal with. It's like the foundation that requires someone to always like prop everything up. Somebody is, I feel like it's stale. It's like, I don't want to have to do this anymore. I want to have stability. I don't want to constantly feel like my only focal point of my life is, by the way, I think we're going to lose one of these gigantic earrings. So hold on, everyone. It might happen. No, I feel as if either you're feeling like, I don't want my primary focus every day of my life to be about, you know, can I create more stability? How do I put out a fire here and then, you know, piece this together? How do I continuously maintain balance? It's more like somebody just wants to be balanced instead of constantly thinking about how to maintain balance. Four of Wands, Page of Cups. This somebody wants to be in a happy romantic connection. I want a day off from the stress, the struggles, the stress and the struggles. Or we can put them together and call it stress. Someone is ready to simply be in, well, I mean, we see this little bird bath here in amongst these four, like I would say those are poplar trees. It's like, I want to go someplace where I can actually feel like it's a sanctuary. This Four of Wands is not just about finding stability or like a romantic partnership. It's about, I want, everything in this reading so far is about stability, if you ask me. And what's stagnant is the quest for it. I want to just be there. I want to have that place where in someone's arms, that feels like my sanctuary, or I don't want to be at odds with my partner, or I want a partnership that, you know, yes, there will always be trials and tribulations and struggles, but ultimately I want to come home to the shelter of my lover's arms, or I want to have this. This is what I've been trying to create. This is what I'm hungry for. But again, we started out with this sensation of something stale. Somebody is saying, I'm done wanting that. I want it. I want to be a part of that now. I want, well, this Page of Cups. I want it to come in. I'm calling it in. The Page of Cups is like, I feel like somebody is imploring the universe. Like, universe, I want to receive the emotional offer. I'm ready to receive it. It's funny because this could be somebody who is finally saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put myself out there. I'm going to invite new suitors into my life. And in fact, someone is maybe calling out to the universe, I want to receive that emotional offer. I want somebody to come in and be my partner. Maybe I'm ready to date. Maybe I'm ready to do online dating. I'm making a profile. Well, guess what? All these people are gathered right here in the wings. You're perhaps busy calling it out, saying, hey, I'm ready to receive this, not realizing there's a whole slew of suitors ready for you. Okay, there is another thought in my head right now, and it just flashed in. So this whole week, I'm going to be doing readings that are very abstract, and whatever pops in my head, I'm just spitting it out. I have this image of somebody who is holding a glass of like bubbly, and they are thinking in their heads that, you know, how much fun they are. They're also, their image of themselves is that they are just bubbles. They are just so much fun. And it makes them happy to think of you wanting them. What I don't think they realize is that that glass of bubbly is cheap. It's not good. It's just bubbly. It's just effervescence. It's not something of substance. I think that somebody is imagining that you're still thinking of them. I don't think that they realize you're at a whole different level. I feel like just as you are saying, you know what, I'm done not having something that's stable. I want that sanctuary. I want that wonderful romance, and I'm ready to call it in. I feel like somebody is imagining that you're trying to call them back in. And it almost makes them happy to think of you missing them, wanting them. I don't think you're calling them in at all. Maybe that's the other part of something that got stale. So I don't know why I have a glass of bubbly in my mind, but that's not what this person is calling in. We've got an 8 of Wands. So again, I'm only reading in the upright today. So this 8 of Wands, this is communication. I'm not surprised, because with that glass of bubbly, I feel like somebody is imagining that, oh, I know any day I'm going to hear from you because I can sense that you want a relationship, but they're thinking you want it with them. That's not where your mind is. They've got it all wrong. And if you look carefully, what we actually have is a painter's easel here. And out of the painter's palette, and out of the palette, they've, painted these trees. But the thing is, there is a woman on horseback approaching, but she is actually not approaching between the trees. She is actually part of those trees. So someone is looking at this all wrong. They may think that you are coming into, oh, I miss you, I love you, I want you, let's have this conversation. This might be you saying, I'm cutting this off. I'm not interested in holding on to this anymore. This has grown stale. Yes, I'm going to paint a new life, a new opportunity for myself, but I don't see you as part of it. And I think that this could be a bit of a shock. Even these paintbrushes actually have horses' hooves. We have action. We are going places. I don't think that they are seeing this in the right way. They may be imagining that any day now you're going to reach out to me. And all the while, you've been moving further and further away from the idea that that person would be the one that you want. But they're under the impression more every day, maybe because they feel you wanting a real connection, but they haven't realized that it's not you that they've got pegged as their potential connection. I feel like, we had a reading not too long ago where it was like somebody who had wanted to be chased. This is almost a strange, like, epilogue or something to that. 10 of Cups. We have so much good happening in this reading. We have so much positivity. We have so much happiness. Yet all of this is coming in a slightly different package. It's like if you expected somebody to arrive by train and instead they show up by plane. They still come in, but they come in a totally different method than what one expected. This 10 of Cups, this is like, I've realized what makes me happy. And then within what makes me happy, I've realized another phase of what makes me happy. And it's like someone has really, this is emotional fulfillment at the deepest level. But to be truly emotionally fulfilled, I think that this is representing the journey that you have been on to help you recognize what kind of a partnership are you calling in for yourself. Whomever you dealt with in the past, I think that was it had gone stale. It was not producing what you wanted it to. Do you want stability? Yes, but not if it's every day is like, okay, how do we hold this relationship together? Okay, what's the drama going to be today? No, instead, I want a sanctuary. I want somebody that's not running from me. It's not playing any games. I want to feel like the romance that I have, the romance that I'm calling in. Absolutely. It's funny. This is the first and only time I've ever looked at the Page of Cups. This is like an emotional offer coming in, but this is somebody asking the universe to please bring me the emotional offer that I'm ready to receive. It's the only time I've ever looked at that card in that context. And it is coming in, but in an unexpected way. It's conversation that comes from an unlikely source, but I also feel as if you are letting go of someone. I think that this first part of this storyline is you recognizing what you truly want and where the gaps were in someone understanding that it's like the two of you weren't on the same page. Maybe one person they enjoyed drama, and what you realized, and it does look like there was lots and lots of thoughts in all of this, right? You realize there's lots of things maybe that they did fulfill your happiness in some ways. But then when you got to the deeper levels, because you notice how in every one of these skulls, we see another person coming up out of the skull and then another person yet. It's as if you had a surface level connection with somebody and it was happy. But then you said, but I want something deeper. The drama, the romance, the spice is one layer, but when are we going to get to the good stuff where it's stable, where it's not a continual battle for stability? You know what? I realize that's something else that I want to have. That's the next phase of happiness. And then finally to have the third little head coming out of the head. I just feel as if someone has recognized to truly be happy. It's not just meeting somebody where it's like, oh, this is a fun date, but we're constantly in flux, in drama. That isn't really fun. That's not a good time. That's stress. I don't want the stress. I want romance. I want somebody who sees me for what I am, not somebody who sees only pieces of me. I think that someone here, you are taking charge of this romance, and you've recognized what you're really looking for, what kind of a partnership you really want. And I feel like you're simultaneously possibly letting go of one situation to call in a different one. I don't know if this will make sense to anyone, but okay, so we have the Five of Wands. So now I'm the person in my mind, that person holding that glass of bubbly. It's interesting because the Five of Wands is a card of like overthinking things, problems and struggles. This is a situation where they did like the drama. And in fact, they thought, yeah, but we have a connection. I mean, look at how strongly we're rooted. We always have a connection. That's why we have all this drama. And they didn't take it very serious. It was like, well, so we battle and we push each other away and then we come back together. They kind of took for granted that, still we know that we have a connection here. We're very rooted. Just because that was under the surface, that doesn't mean that was how it was supposed to be. It's like this person accepted the drama and was like, oh yeah, but absence makes the heart grow fonder. If we're in separation, it's just because we have this conflict, but eventually we'll wind up back together. I feel like this is somebody who thought all along, well, of course, this is how we do things, but I know that you love me. I feel like they've been banking on something, but a 5 says it's time to change that. And you definitely, in this storyline, it looks like you're realizing someone did not ever understand. You weren't there for the drama and the passion. You were there for the love, the romance, the building stability, the safety zone of like, wow, you are my sanctuary. You are the thing that makes me feel like I have shelter from, when the world gets crazy, I have the shelter of my lover's arms, But this person, instead, they looked at it in a whole different way. Like, struggles, drama, that's just what we do, but we have a strong connection, so that's okay. I think they almost, there was like, that the bubbly aspect that I was talking about, somebody holding like how about 5 of Cups also. This is going to be a deep regret for this person, a very deep regret. It may already be. And it's so funny. I've been talking about a bottle of bubbly. This person is literally holding a bottle of champagne, right? They've got, like I said, it's like there's a superficial component, almost like they think, oh, I know you're thinking about me. That almost makes them happy to think that somebody is missing them. But this is, it's a little bit of a good time Charlie energy that I'm getting. And especially with this, how I said it, it seems like everything has gone stale. You see all the moons here. This is time passing. We've gone through the phases of the moon, in this case, 5 different times, right? And in every time it ends the same. Somebody, in this case, they're kind of like passing out because they're drinking too much bubbly. And what's happening is there's not real growth. This is like a desert landscape with a single plant here that this gentleman is springing from. You can't nourish a connection like this. It's as if somebody's been overindulging. Somebody has done everything but put time and effort into the connection. Maybe you guys have had lots of stops and starts in this connection. And at every time that there's been a separation, instead of trying to reconcile, somebody kind of finds ways to party until they forget what's going on, and then they do it all over again. It's like this repeat cycle. And again, this is what needed to change. Well, at this point, all we've done is we've created, in the passage of time, I think somebody realizes time has run out. And now there's a big regret here, a huge regret. We have 2 5s. Somebody thought, yeah, but the roots of our connection are so deep, even though we have drama. This person wasn't trying to fix the drama. This person was like, thinking the drama was the way of a connection, like that was normal, but that's not normal. But they kept pushing off maybe an important conversation, pushing off it's time to quit drinking bubbly and it's time to get serious. But somebody didn't do that. And now they've run out of time because things have grown stale for you. 5 of Pentacles. You've got to be kidding me. This is a very shuffled deck also. This is somebody who's about to be left out in the cold. There is a very hollow spot here. You see this person's chest actually has, kind of like almost like a checkerboard with, a hall that is recessed. And it's like, it's as if this person played game after game after game after game. That's what's like deep inside of them. They thought it was always a game. They thought it was always something, even though the emotion that they had was real in this connection, it was always still a game. Everything was illusion. Even this, we have like, I don't know if these are supposed to be children or just very short people that are walking on stilts to appear taller. They found ways to prop things up. They found ways to keep an illusion going. But this juggling act, it doesn't work anymore. They spent all their time juggling, all their time allowing drama to continue, all their time delaying, dragging their heels, avoiding the sincerity of a connection, all the while counting on the idea that I know that you love me and I know that our roots go really deep. So it doesn't matter if I drag my heels, if I don't put energy into this, our connection is always there. No, it's gone stale. 555. This person needed to make change a long time ago. And it's like the pressure is increasing on this person. It's like, guess what? The things that are drying up, like their champagne is no longer bubbly. It's flat now. Their games, their illusions, it's not even fun anymore. They can't keep up an illusion at this point. Why? Because what good is being a juggler or a performer if there's nobody there to watch you? If somebody is bored with your games, and that's what I feel like this reading is about, somebody is bored with someone's games. Their games are stale. And it kind of looks as if you look into their chest where their heart should be, it's like somebody is seeing them as like, all you did was you played one game after another, after another, after another. I'm sorry this is such a harsh reading, but this looks like a situation where somebody really did love you, and yet this person was unable to grow up. They were unable to make the changes necessary. Now, this could have just been one of those situations where two people are on a completely different plane, right? Four of Pentacles. This person denied what their heart and their gut were telling them. These are intestines. This is, I look at this as like the heart and the aorta. Instead of that, they put everything into their heads, and their heads were in the clouds, I suppose. But they compartmentalized. I feel like somebody was living multiple different lives. Like, oh, I want to be kind of in a relationship, but I kind of want to be single, but I kind of also want to pursue something else. It was like they were playing all these different roles. I feel like somebody was very fragmented, very fractured here. It's a storyline where whomever this is, it wasn't just about juggling. It was like they wouldn't put themselves back together so that they could say, what do I really want? They didn't open up because it was like, how do I say this? What's a metaphor for this? If I invited you to my home, and I said, hey, come on over and I'm going to make you dinner, but you come over and my house is under construction. And so you have to walk on a plank just to get into what should be like my living room space. And then I say, oh, well, we can't actually eat here because the inside of my house is all ripped up. So through this hole in the wall and then climb up this ladder and we'll sit on the rooftop. And then I'll have to run back and forth and, make food on like one little tiny burner that I have plugged into a wall in the garage. And then I'll have to run through the house scurrying on those boards and then go up the ladder and then bring it to you on the rooftop. It's like that. Like, why did I invite you over for dinner when I didn't have a house ready to have dinner? Why didn't I? Like, everything was too scattered. All their resources were scattered. Their life was kind of segmented, yet they were trying to act like they could offer something that you can't when there's that many other things to scatter your energy in between. So I feel like if somebody was trying to have a relationship here, they might have been trying to do it when their life was in big pieces, big chunks. Too much time was really focused only on career. They weren't ready to invest in a commitment. Maybe they had, a family situation as well that they needed to attend to, and that was taking up their time. And they weren't really willing to bring any of those things together. So then they weren't really ready to open up. So they kept everything isolated. They acted like they could segment everything and have little bits of everything, but they scattered their energy too far. And if they had checked in with their gut or their heart, that would have told them this is not the way to handle things. You have to be all in. Otherwise, you give only a little to everything in your life. And it makes for a scattered, disjointed, delayed. But this person thought that was okay. They thought they could give, I don't even know if this was breadcrumbing for the sake of breadcrumbing. It was more like, wow, I feel a connection to you. Excellent. I have that connection now. That's money in the bank. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deal with all these other aspects of life. and just kind of, I feel like they ran through a little maze to come and, see you, and then they'd run away on that little maze again and then come back in. Like I said, that idea that like you're having dinner on the roof and they have to keep going down a ladder and, cooking things one little bit at a time on a single burner. Like none of this, they were not ready for an actual, like, I want to say the word holistic keeps coming to mind, just meaning like healthy in all aspects of their life, feeling unified in who they are, what they want to give. They thought they could live life in little teeny sound bites, if that makes any sense. I know, weird reading. Kate and the weird readings. Please do let me know if that makes any sense to anybody out there. And the Death card. Well, this person's going to go through a transformation. I almost feel as if things have stacked up and become far too heavy. And it's almost like you're shutting a lid on this person. And in closing a lid, meaning you're sealed off, you're not talking to this person anymore. I feel like this 8 of Wands is you saying, you never invested in me as a whole person. You didn't put the time in. You didn't even see me as a whole person. You didn't try to make a sanctuary for the two of us. You didn't bring me into your life. You didn't even try to come into my life. Not really. And what I realize now is that I want a whole relationship. I'm going to be very, very, very happy. I know that exactly what I want. And I also know kind of the way you live. And that's not going to work for me. I feel like you are setting somebody loose and saying this whole thing has become stale, but I see now how you're living your life and it doesn't resonate with mine. You are essentially closing a lid on them. And it has this interesting effect. You walking away, you closing that lid is making it so they're pretty much stuck in, I talked about a maze, like somebody, trying to give you dinner up on a rooftop. It has, that makes no sense, right? They're stuck in their own maze, only with themselves now. And with maybe just the other, well, in this case, it looks like 2 other things to give their attention to. But do you notice how both of these are kind of like in the gray? There's, this is actually like it's like an alien skeletal structure in like a fetal position. This is like maybe they're unknown, the things that they didn't give energy to that could have blossomed, could have birthed into something amazing. They're left with unfulfilled potential, and they might be focused very much on fulfilling the wants, the needs, or obligations of family members. And they're sitting here with a heavy weight on them at this point. You've closed a cycle with them. You've put the lid on it. And now you're no longer this happy little thing that they can keep in their mind running back to, thinking, oh, we have struggles, but we're really rooted to each other. So I believe in this connection. Somehow having you almost, I don't want to say strung along. They strung you along in their own mind. It's not like they were stringing you along. You were evaluating the situation, learning a lot about what you want. In the meantime, they are the ones who couldn't make a change. They strung themselves along and refused to put all the pieces together and make their life something that made sense, where they could have a loving relationship, a partnership, a situation where all the pieces of their life they could, have like an open dialogue about. Somebody, instead, they were full of illusion and they took forever to do anything. And now you're the one who ended this with them. But in doing so, in slamming the lid shut on this, which is what it looks like to me, it's like the earth closed on top of this person. And now they are under pressure. They are underground. This still looks like silence to me. I feel like you said a final goodbye to someone. I don't think you did it mean. I think you said, I'm going to move on and be happy. They're seeing it through your eyes at this point. This person is in like a deep meditative state. This person is possibly like really, you can see this head has pressure on it from all angles, right? Crushing inward, crushing downward. There's whatever this is that you said to this person, I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but it hit them right there in the third eye. There is something about this person where things had to be ended, and that lid had to be shut on it before they would sit with their own energy and think about themselves, where they've been. Why have I been delaying? I mean, they have 5, 5, 5, 4, and then the death card. Change, change, change. Still holding back, still feeling scattered, still resisting change, then guess what? Now you got to sit in that unchanged energy. And this time there's no distractions. This person is sitting in their unchanged energy, stewing in it, feeling the pressure of the life they've chosen to live. And when they take your light out of it, well, when you took your light out of it, that is the death card. You took away the light because you slammed the lid shut on this. When that happens, this person is finally able to sit there. And I feel like that is the thing that is making them look at the little maze that they'd created and recognize something has to. The death card, something had to end before something else can be reborn, rebirthed. So I'm not going to carry on much longer with this story because I want to check on what is your 10 of Cups? What is your happiness? Because you're calling it in. You've asked the universe, and I feel like you have a ton of suitors that are ready to come in. You have the Hanged Man and you have the Fool. So again, I'm only reading these in the upright. So this is, I feel like you are absolutely ready to date people you never would have welcomed into your world before. You are saying, I don't know anymore who someone is until I get to know them. So I'm willing to give anyone a shot. I will step out on a limb. Both of these, to me, are you being very, very outgoing, willing to take the adventure, willing to open yourself up to the unknowns. You may meet someone who is completely opposite you in so many ways. Somebody who could be pretty delightful in the sense that they are possibly much like your current energy flow, where it's like, hey, listen, I just figured we'll see, do we jive? You might be introduced to somebody. This is, this taking a leap of faith. This could be like a blind date. It could be something where it's like, I don't know, this is a big leap of faith. I know nothing about this person other than their first name and the fact that so-and-so wanted me to meet them. It's a big jump forward. And you see all the pyramids. We have, it could be somebody possibly from a very different culture, somebody who has all kinds of new things to show you and let you kind of like explore some of the world through their eyes. This could be that the two of you love to discover things together. The two of you may also be extremely open to exploring all kinds of different things. Like you welcome them into your world, they welcome you into theirs. This is like, let's explore. This could be great conversation. This could be very, like exploring the mysteries. They might like to take, weekend drives and just see, let's drive for 2 hours in any one direction and then see what happens when we get there. You might have these incredible kinds of adventures that are like, you didn't realize somebody was always intrigued and wanted to see the world from another's perspectives. I feel like this is whatever your great love is, whatever this thing is that's coming in for you that's going to be so happy. It's based first in adventure and being able to compromise and see things through each other's vision and being open to what one another can, introduce you to. This is probably like, this person could be much more like romantically amorous, and that could be a whole nother layer of exploration as well. This could be things that you've not really explored with anybody else, and it's exciting, and whoever this is, it's probably someone who is nothing like who you have known in the past. This person is deep. This person really listens. This person is also, they listen to what you like, You listen to what they like, and then somewhere in the midst of that, you find kind of sweet, special, unique ways to do something that is like thought is put into it for one another. It's an interesting thing. This is like really getting to know each other, but with none of the stress surrounding it. Okay, so now what happens to this other individual here? I mean, this technically could still be them since they're going through a death and then a rebirth, but Seven of Swords. Now this person's going to have to face all kinds of things. So they're sitting here under pressure, knowing that something is over because they wouldn't change, they wouldn't step up to the plate. But now, while they're sitting there under pressure, it seems like that's when they're having to really think back maybe on who they've been. What lies did they tell themselves? I feel like this person has an awful lot of, we can see it like a masculine and a feminine. And again, this is not gender specific, but talking about the divine masculine, divine feminine, we've got kind of a question mark here as to, like, they might have told themselves a relationship had to be a specific way, and that's not true. They might have had an idealized version of who they needed to be, or who their person needed to be, or what a relationship was supposed to look like. There was a lie somewhere in their minds, and they're just starting to break through this. The reason I say that is because we see like a glacier, and we see these little, instead of this showing swords with the Seven of Swords, we actually see razors, but the razors are actually cutting like a spot in between this glacier. Somebody is, I feel like they are, I guess it could be a cloud. It looks like a glacier to me, but somebody is just now realizing that they need to cut through this barrier that they put somewhere in their mind about how relationships were supposed to go, what the expectations were. That's what made somebody, I don't know, maybe they had some real confusing messages given to them, like as a kid or something, because we can't even see the gentleman's face, which, granted, all of these are like tributes to, famous paintings from, the surrealism, but still, somebody, we can't even see their face. Maybe they thought that a show of strength was to not show what was going on in their mind, not share with their partner what was happening in their life. Maybe they were programmed to act that way. Maybe that's why they held back. Maybe that's why they were like, well, yeah, but in romance, maybe it's the perception of what the divine masculine and the divine feminine roles are supposed to be and how they're supposed to have conflict. That's what I saw my parents do. My mom didn't open up to my dad, or my dad never opened up to my mom. That's what that gender does. And it's like, why did somebody have this idea? I think they're just now cutting through some of the lies that they bought into. And then we have the High Priestess for this person. This is all about clairvoyance. This is all about, this person is having an awakening. I want to go back to the idea that looks like that third eye chakra is opening up for this person with this clairvoyance. I mean, we've got this egg here in the middle. So it's representing, it can hatch. We can have something that grows, something that comes out of this. She is hovering above an entire foundation of all of these little houses, kind of like, everything that they've learned from society. They're starting to assimilate this. Before, remember I said that they were like, they segmented their thoughts. They only operated with the logical mind. And even in that, they segmented their ideas. So they never looked at things as like a whole person where they use their body, mind, and spirit, or their, me, myself, and I. They behaved in like segments, like you do this with this person, then you do this with this part of your life. And like you could live your life in different separate areas, almost like they could live 3 different lives, have a relationship, maybe have a, a husband or a wife, and then also have a Mr. or a mistress, and then also have a career that they were all focused on, or a family, and the 3 never interwove. That's not true. This person is just now realizing that. This is, they're starting to understand something about themselves, that maybe they're understanding where they got these ideas that things had to be certain ways that you didn't really reveal. It's like somebody thought that they were stronger by not revealing what they really wanted. They always wanted to hold something back, like everything was a manipulation tactic. Again, what I saw here was like the sense of game playing instead of where their heart should be. What we saw was like a, like a chessboard. Your emotions aren't, it's not supposed to be a chessboard. This person didn't invest. This person held back. Everything was always a chessboard. What will give me the greatest benefit? This part of my life, this part of my life, or that part of my life. And that's where they decided where to spend their energy. Sometimes with this, sometimes with that, sometimes over here. So they never gave wholly to anything. And this person is just now realizing, where did they get that idea from? There is an awakening. There is, those lies are being revealed to themselves. I feel like this is, if they're having an awakening right now, you seem to be long gone, but there may still be some kind of subtle awareness in the back of your mind that you feel this person going through this. There may be some kind of, why do I feel that way? Why do I think that there's some kind of a connection still that you sense that this person is waking up? Why do I feel that way? Oh, my. I'm only taking this one. 3 of Swords. I feel as if, I don't know. I mean, we have some social media influences over here is what I feel like on this card. There is someone has prevented themselves from transforming. Somebody has, I think you feel their sadness. Maybe there is something that they post on social media, or maybe you sense that they have looked at your social media, or maybe they post something that says more to you because you know who this person is. Whatever this may be, there is this element of, there is a veneer of happiness that is covering up the fact that somebody has a pretty profound heartbreak here. But with that heartbreak, we also have someone who is, I mean, they're pinned to the butterfly wings saying, look, you can stay in heartbreak as long as you want until you're willing to transform. That's the key component for this person, is they must transform. If you feel this connection to this person, you may be aware that this person might be hurting, but you're also like, baby, you still got to make the change, and I can't make it for you. You basically are backed up against the wall now. And in this case, the wall is those butterfly wings, and you've resisted transforming for so long. All I can do is like energetically hope that you go through the transformation. I feel like that is the thing. This person is feeling heartbreak, but they're feeling heartbreak. And I think you're aware of it somehow. Maybe because you really did understand this person better than they understood themselves. Okay, I'm going to end this one here. This is, I know, very abstract. All my readings will be this week because I'm having fun exploring that. Remember, these are just stories. It is the way I choose to story tell. It is, my freedom of speech is just the way I like to do things. So please don't, even though I say you versus them in a story, I'm not talking about you personally. I don't know you. I am only reading a story where I'm talking about characters, right? So, how we can write a storyline in like first person or third person, it's that kind of element. So please just know what you do in your life is up to you as an individual. This is just the art of storytelling. If there is something positive or something uplifting, awesome. If not, please do release it. Don't ever let anything like my stories get in your head and make you sad. That's not what they're intended for. All right. So last but not least, the next giveaway that I'm doing. So if you would like to enter to win this, you certainly may. If you do win, what you will receive is a doggy card, which these are all cards that were made. They're all rescue dogs. And that was important to me. And then inside you'll receive another envelope. And inside that envelope, although it's sealed right now, there is one of my oracle cards from my Healing Healer Oracle deck. So it's actually, it's based off of my dog. I did photos of him and wrote some kind of inspirational messages. So if that is of interest to you, awesome. Please feel free to enter to win. You can do it in one of two ways. In the comment section, you can write the word enter, or in the comment section, you can go ahead and answer another question, just kind of to put your mind in more of like an upbeat mindset. And because it's fun to connect with each other and see what the collective thinks about different things. But I was going to ask the question of like, what is your pump up music? My genre, if I'm, getting my vibe up and my heart beating, mine is funk. I love good funk music. So a good horn section, oh my gosh, drives me wild. And that's like, it's really hard not to dance though. But yeah, really fun tempos and really like, I love all the breaks and all of the really cool sounds in funk music. So that's my pump up music. So what is your guys's? I was just curious about, different genres of music that people find really moving, or if there's a particular song or artist or whatever it is for you. It's just kind of a cool way to, I don't know, all these questions are hopefully always things that put our mind in like a more upbeat frame of mind. I always hope that my channel is more upbeat. So you guys, thanks for being with me. I'll tell you whoever the winner is tomorrow, and have a beautiful day. Bye.